The house was alive with celebration. Ribbons of marigolds framed every window, and the scent of rosewater drifted through the hallways. Laughter echoed from the women's side of the house as Dolake beats accompanied wedding preparations. Maya's wedding was just a few weeks away, and she glowed in the attention. She was marrying Fahad, her cousin. The news had surprised everyone, especially since Fahad had been engaged to someone else just a few months ago. But that engagement had ended, mysteriously and swiftly. No one asked too many questions. Maya, meanwhile, wore satisfaction like a veil. Everything she had ever wanted was finally falling into place. But not everything in the house was happy. There was a heaviness in the air, like the scent of something rotting beneath the perfume of jasmine. It was around 2:13 a.m. when Maya suddenly woke up. Something was wrong. Her chest was heavy. Her breath came in shallow gasps. And then, she felt it. A force pressed down on her throat, two invisible hands gripping tighter and tighter, as if trying to choke the life out of her. She kicked and clawed at nothing, eyes bulging. Then suddenly it stopped. She sat up, gasping. The room was empty. Dead silent. She stumbled to the mirror on her dresser, still wheezing. And there they were, deep, finger-shaped bruises circling her neck. She didn't scream. She just stared. The next morning, she covered the bruises with makeup. She told herself it was a dream, maybe sleep paralysis. The house buzzed with activity. Cousins arrived from out of town. Laughter, bangles clinking, clothes being stitched. Mehndi artists visiting. Everything was in motion. But Maya was distant. She often glanced over her shoulder. She kept all the lights on at night. She started sleeping with the Quran under her pillow, though she didn't tell anyone why. Her mother noticed the change. "You're stressed," she said, brushing Maya's hair. "Brides always get jitters. It'll pass." It was on a quiet Thursday evening that her mother screamed. Maya ran to her room, where the older woman stood frozen by the cupboard. Her hands trembled. "What happened?" Maya asked, panicked. Her mother pointed at the wall, streaks of blood. Long, dragging smears across the pale paint just behind the bed. "No one's injured," her mother whispered. And it wasn't. There this morning, they checked every corner of the room. There were no wounds, no explanations. The blood was just there. Maya tried to calm her mother. "It's probably a stain. Paint maybe, or some old rust that leaked from the pipe." But her voice lacked conviction. To prove her point, she stepped closer and reached out with her fingers. The moment she touched it, the truth revealed itself, warm, wet, unmistakably real. Blood. Her mother gasped. "This is not normal." "I'm calling an Amil," Maya stiffened. "No, mother, don't. There's no need to create drama before the wedding. Maybe someone played a prank. Kids from the neighborhood. Or it could be something old that resurfaced from the walls. Please. Let's not jump to conclusions." Her mother hesitated, visibly shaken. Maya's excuse was quick and convenient, too quick. A moment passed. Then another. And for now, her mother let it go. Hook. But Maya wasn't just dismissing the truth to protect her family's peace. She was denying it because she was hiding something far darker. 2 days later, Maya's younger brother, Hassan, came down with an intense fever. He was a strong boy, never sick, but now he couldn't move from bed. His body shook with chills. His eyes reddened unnaturally, and then he vomited blood. It splattered onto the sheets, shocking the family. They rushed him to a hospital. Tests were done. Nothing conclusive. The doctors were baffled. "It's like his body is rejecting itself," one of them murmured. He was sent home with medicines that didn't work. Every night, his condition worsened. And every night, Maya heard whispers outside her bedroom door. Sometimes, She saw shadowy figures standing just beyond the hallway. The dreams began on the third night. She would be standing in a barren field. The moon would be red, and from the darkness would come a voice low, gravelly, like the scraping of stone on bone. It's time for the offering. Blood for what you asked. One night, she woke up to find hoof prints on her bedsheet, muddy and wide, like those of a goat. Another night, her bed lifted off the floor with a jerk and slammed back down as she screamed. She stopped sleeping. She stopped eating. She stared at her reflection for hours, unsure if the person in the mirror was still her. It wasn't just Maya anymore. One night, her mother, while reciting prayer beads, felt someone watching her. She turned slowly and froze. Standing at the doorway of her room was a figure. Half man, half goat, black eyes, long twisted horns. Its hooves tapped against the marble floor. And then her bed started to rise. Not an inch. Not a few inches. It floated fully up to her waist, shaking violently. She passed out cold, desperate and terrified. Maya's mother brought in an Amil, an old spiritual healer, known for confronting dark forces. He walked through the house silently, reciting verses under his breath. Then he stopped at Maya's room. He placed his palm on her bed, closed his eyes, and said softly, "There is something ancient here. You summoned them." Maya flinched. Me? But the Anil wasn't looking at her. He was talking to the spirits. I need to speak to whoever made the pact. The air went still, and then a wind slammed the windows shut. Lamps burst. The Amil staggered back, clutching his chest. He turned to Maya. Someone in this house used black magic, and now the Jinns are collecting what they were promised. Maya said nothing for a long time. Then, in a voice as hollow as a well, she whispered, "I didn't mean for it to go this far." Everyone stared. I went to her, the woman in the old alley near the shrine. I told her I wanted Fahad. I couldn't bear to see him with her, the other girl. She looked up, eyes wide with regret and fear. She gave me a charm. She told me I had to burn it at midnight. And when I did, things started changing. Fahad's engagement broke. He came to me. Tears fell freely now. But she never told me the Jinns would want a sacrifice in return. The Amil shook his head. They always do. Nothing comes for free in the world of black magic. He gave her Quranic verses to recite. He and Maya's mother stayed up all night praying. They burned incense, cleansed the rooms with ruqya. But it wasn't enough. 2 nights later, the house was quiet. Too quiet. Maya didn't come out of her room that morning. Her mother found her, lying on the floor, cold, pale, eyes wide open in eternal horror. Her neck bore the same bruises as before. Her hands were turned outward, like she had been dragged. On the wall, written in blood, were 3 words. Debt is paid. The wedding was never spoken of again. Hassan recovered, but he never talked about what he saw in his dreams. The house was sold, left abandoned. Neighbors say strange sounds still echo from inside at night, hoofbeats and distant chanting. And no one knows where the charm went, or if someone else will find it next.